Now, let me introduce our last speaker today, Dr. Sato, and his topic today is Introduction to the Nihong University Japanese Longitudinal Study of Aging. Thank you. Now I pass the time to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I wasn't that much enthusiastic presenting this longitudinal data because it's not just a little old, but because this survey is kind of a basis for the surveys presented before me, Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, and Kerala in some part. So just presenting the what we have done using this Nihong University Japanese Longitudinal Study of Aging. And I'm at Nihong University, Tokyo, Japan, and also I'm the senior advisor on population aging at the Economic Research Institute for ASEAN and East Asia, Jakarta, Indonesia. And this is the institute kind of supporting the surveys in the Philippines and Vietnam. Okay, there was a question about this. This is really an important question we want to address. Are we living longer, healthy lives as well as longer lives? And well, this is just still under review, but we use this two longitudinal study conducted in Japan and examine whether the older adults at age 65 and above, they are living longer as well as healthy years. And at least between 1990 and 2000 to 2010, some health state was improved. But now, because of the COVID-19, we are not sure and how this COVID-19 will affect the health status of older adults. We need to really study very carefully, not just the direct impact of COVID-19 as the mortality and the morbidity, but this effect might continue, that the negative effect might continue into the future. Well, anyway, so this is one answer to the question raised, whether we are living healthy, longer healthy years. We have longer years for age 65, and also we are living healthy years. Health defined by functioning, as WHO and UN endorsed this decade of healthy aging, and so they're kind of focusing on the health, the functioning as a measures of health, and we measured the health status with the functioning, and we have longer years. Anyway, let me move to the this study, longitudinal survey. So the purpose of this starting this Nihon University longitudinal study of aging in 1999 was to investigate levels of and changes in the health status of Japanese elderly, and investigate the factors affecting health status and changes in the health status over time. And these purposes similar to both LSAP, the Philippine survey in the Philippines and Vietnam, and also this phase in Singapore. And so collect comparable data to other longitudinal data for cross-national comparison. It is very difficult to conduct cross-national studies because each country has their own questionnaire. But because the LSAP and LSAP, Philippines and Vietnam, they developed the English questionnaire in English based on this NUJ LSOA. So three surveys are kind of comparable. Although this Nihon University Japanese longitudinal study is quite old, and the last survey was conducted in 2013. We are trying to get another round, but unfortunately, we couldn't find the funding for this. Anyway, so this survey also examined well-being of older adults, including economic and social well-being. And this is what we have done. Started in 1999 November, and 2001, 2003, 2006, and 2009, 5 waves. It's all face-to-face interview survey. And the 6th wave conducted in 2013, December. This is the mail survey. So survey design. For baseline survey, wave 1, it's a nationally represented sample of 65 and over, and initial sample of 6,700 persons selected by multi-state stratified random sampling. We oversampled those age 75 and over by factor of 2. And we have the same design for the Philippines, Vietnam, and Singapore. We oversampled oldest old. And in-person interview survey using structured survey questionnaire proxy allowed. And following waves, we refreshed the samples for wave 2 and wave 3. So we can see, we can use 3 waves, first 3 waves of survey data, conducted in 1999, 2001, 2003, as repeated cross-sectional data, as well as we followed all of them until the year 2013. So no sample refreshing for waves 4 and 5. So what kind of question we asked? Well, this is the sample size, how it moved. From 6,700, we had refreshed sample, age 65 and 66, and also in wave 3 in 2003. But we didn't add refresh sample. And see, here it's 900 is the added sample, refresh sample, both 2001 and 2003. And this is a non-respondent. So wave 6, I just mentioned about wave 6 that it was a mail survey. So the mortality questions were very limited and unable to follow enough for those who are deceased. But using wave 5 and wave 6, we just published this disasters journal. It's a disasters and the disablement process framework analysis of the Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami of 2011. So we conducted in the wave 5 in 2009 and mail survey in 2013. So in between 2011, we had this huge earthquake. So we studied the impact of that the earthquake. And questionnaires, LSOA questionnaire adapted selected question items from the longitudinal study of aging conducted in the US between 1984 to 1994 waves, and also LSOA 2, 1994 to 2000. They have 3 waves. And health and retirement studies started in 1992 in the US. It was covered 60 to 69, and asset and health dynamics among the oldest, all called AHEAD, studied in 1993 to 1998. This is 70 plus. And they combined the HRS and AHEAD combined into HRS in 1999. So I adapted the questions asked in these surveys. And as I mentioned, SUP, and phase, some of the question items were from NUJ LSOA. So that's why it's kind of comparable. The first wave, we have standard questions on the demographic attribute, family structure, socioeconomic status, intergenerational exchange, information on surviving children's family, health behavior, chronic conditions. We have functioning ADL, IDL, NAGI measures. We measured mental health, CESD, vision health. Also, I want to emphasize this dental health. We have number of teeth and ability to chew. and healthcare utilization, information technology, and living arrangement. Wave 2, we added question on long-term care insurance system, and we added as a module CD, it's a depression measure, and also additional feature, we had the decedent interviews. And so we follow the information for those who passed away. Wave 3, additional question on sleep disorder, restless leg syndrome, pain, and stress. And wave 4, here we added anthropometric measures and blood pressure and grip strength. I think this is this survey is the first social survey incorporating those anthropometric measures and the blood pressure in Japan. And additional question again. Oh, sorry, I forgot to delete this. So this is only a feature of the second wave. And wave 5, we measured height and weight. And these new measures, because we didn't ask height and weight, because we asked all the adults their height and weight. It's a self-reported and pretty accurate, we thought. But finally, we decided to measure it. And we compared the measured and self-reported height and weight. And it was accurate, but because it's a combined measure, the BMI is a combined measure. When we use a BMI, we need to be a little careful about the self-reported health, self-reported height and weight. And so BMI, we use a BMI as a measure to impact the health. And recently published study, here in Japan, it's more of the underweight, not the overweight. And the effect of underweight on active life expectancy among all the adults. So those who are underweight, they're less healthy. And if you're interested, please read these articles. I don't go into the in detail, but this is already published study. And we use the functioning as a measure of health and gender differences in disability and mortality transitions, the case of all the adults in Japan. We saw here we controlled for the education, work status, and comorbid and income, and how each aspect of socioeconomic status on the functioning. We computed health expectancy again. And we compared the education, effective education on health among all the adults. Well, this is focused on education in Japan. And next one is compared with the US HRS. And we showed the differences, the impact of education on health. And we also have done a sleep disorder, the effect of sleep disorder on depression among all the adults. And this was published in 2010 Sleep. And we saw that, showed that some subtype of sleep disorder affected depression. And sleep and pain also we studied. And so these are the topic we studied so far: depression and IT information, that the cell phone use and the depression. And there's some impact of the use of cell phone on the depressive syndrome symptoms among Japanese elderly. Then loneliness, it's a big topic in the recent past. We already have the Minister of Loneliness in Japan, like in the UK. So it's a hot topic, and we have done some work on the loneliness among all the adults in Japan. And also, this is the loneliness part. And we have also effects of oral health among older adults, number of teeth and chewing abilities. And those are impacting the actual health. And oral health is becoming a hot topic. And we have questions on the number of teeth and number of chewing ability using food, what kind of food older adults can eat, and that we use the measure. And we have similar questions in share, in face and LSAP and LSAP. So this study, NUJ-RSOA, is in this website, and JELOUSC.edu, CBPH, NUJ-RSOA. So the first two waves are already available, publicly available, and I am preparing the release of the data for rest of them up to the 6 waves, but I just didn't have enough time to prepare for. So we are still working on the data, and so, but the data will be eventually become available. Thank you very much for your participation in the webinar. And if you need if you have questions, or if you are interested in using this data, just send me email. Thank you very much.